We just had one of our biggest gardening days, getting all of our peppers and tomatoes into the ground where they're gonna be much happier. So come join me while I show you how we did it, because we do not follow all the rules. Welcome back to the Provident Gardener, where we believe anyone can grow their own food, enjoy it, and preserve it. I'm Amanda, and I have my husband Rob here today with me, and we're gonna do something really exciting.
So we've checked the weather and we don't see any temperatures really that get too far below 50 in the forecast, and that tells us it's time to plant. So we've got our shovel here that we're going to use to dig some holes the right size for our solo cups, and then we're going to be putting all of our plants in the ground. It's an exciting day.
So come along with us as we get our summer garden well underway with putting our peppers and tomatoes in the ground. First up, we have our pepper beds. Now, in years past, I've always done 2 very full beds of peppers. This year, we added a new bed to our garden, and we decided to split that between the tomatoes and the peppers. Because, in our opinion, you can never have too many tomatoes or too many peppers. Now, as far as planting your peppers, it's pretty simple. You just put it into the ground, pretty much the exact same way it's in this cup. We got all of our peppers in the ground. One of them here looked a little sad when I planted it, but I decided to see if it would make it, and it didn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace that one here. I don't even need to dig it out. I'm just gonna kind of work the soil up here, and we'll just pop it out of here. And we're gonna put it right down in that hole level with the rest of the soil. And that one is a variety called Patio Snack Mix that I've never grown before, but it's an heirloom snack pepper, and I'm so excited to try it. Now, as far as how we do our peppers, we kind of break the rules. We do not give them the space that your typical packaging suggests. We plant this bed very heavy with peppers. We have 32 peppers in this 8x4 bed. And what we have found is that when we plant our peppers more densely, they kind of help hold each other up when they get really big. I do occasionally have to bring in a bamboo stake and use it to stake my peppers, but that's probably less than 10% of them. I am so excited for you to see these pepper beds when they are just full and huge and thriving and producing peppers for us. We plant all sorts of different kinds of peppers, from your typical bell peppers up to serranos and cayennes, and we use a mix of sweet and spicy to make our salsa, and it is so delicious. The variety of all the peppers we use, I feel like, is what makes our salsa so good, because there's so much flavor in there. So that's it for the peppers. Pretty simple. Let's take you to the tomato beds and show you how we're breaking the rules there. Now we have 3 tomato beds here. We love our tomatoes, plus we have that half of a bed from the new bed we added this year. We planted a total of 46 tomato plants. That's a lot of tomatoes. So what do we do with it all? We make a lot of salsa, pasta sauce, pizza sauce. I want to do more diced tomatoes, tomato sauce this year, and this should have us covered. Now, typically, you're instructed to plant your tomatoes pretty far apart. We don't do that. Here in this bed, we have 10, and these are mainly our sauce tomatoes. We have Midnight Roma, San Marzano, Amish Paste, Pink Fang. These, because the Romas are determinate, we did plant those a little farther apart, and then the indeterminate on the other end a little closer together. We want to try something new with how we stake and support these plants. We're always trying to find a great way to do that. But in these 2 beds back here, we do 14 tomato plants in each 8x4 bed. They're planted really close. So how can we do that in such a small space? You can see we have this infrastructure set up here, and later on we will install a string trellising system, and we'll clip the tomatoes up that string as they grow, and we'll keep them pruned really good, and they can produce a lot of tomatoes in a small space. Now, last year I wasn't so great at keeping them pruned. Sometimes it just breaks my heart to prune them back really far, But this year I've got to do better. I've got to really prune them and test out that method of growing tomatoes. But let me show you how we planted these in the ground. Now there are several ways you can plant your tomatoes. I feel like everyone has their own little trick that they use, but what we do is we plant them deep. And so to do that, first, you've got to remove all the lower stems, which on this one, I'll probably just go up to this stem right here. So I just took off one. And so we'll dig a bigger hole here so we can plant it deep. And the reason for that is that this plant will create more roots along the stem where it's buried. Now I just learned recently, a lot of people think these little hairs along the stem turn into roots. That's not right. Those are actually called something else. I'm going to put it on the screen for you, but they serve a different purpose for the tomato. But burying it deep, there are other places along the stem that new roots will grow. So it is beneficial to bury it deep for root development. We're doing deep straight down. Some people will do a trench and kind of bend it up like this. Deep is our preference. Okay, in the bottom of the hole, we are putting worm castings. There'll be some good food for these tomatoes. We've actually done that for a few years now, and the plants love it. Put it all the way down in there. There we go. Another thing we've done while we're planting these tomatoes is we've turned on our drip. That way we can see where the drip is going and the most ideal place to put each plant. Another reason I don't like to trench my tomatoes when I plant them is because I do a lot of interplanting. I mean, you can see in this bed already I have chives, yarrow, a lot of calendula that reseeded on its own. I've got onions here. I'm going to come back and be planting bush beans. I might experiment with some carrots in here, some lettuce in the middle, so I can really see how far I can push that into the summer if it's shaded by these tomatoes. And my fear is always that if I trench it, I'll go in here to plant something and I'll dig down and I'm going to cut right through one of those tomato stems. Now, the chances of that probably aren't high because, you know, I could see where the trench is and just avoid that. But some days my brain just doesn't operate at the highest level, and I am terrified that I would just kill one of my beautiful tomato plants. So in planting our tomatoes, Kylene and I do some things the same and some things different. And that's okay. We all find our own ways to successfully grow. But to start off, she digs that deep hole. She trims off the lower leaves of her tomato plant so that she can bury it deep for the exact same reasons that I do. And then that's where things get a little different. After she puts the tomato in the hole, she also puts in comfrey leaves because those are going to add a lot of good nutrients for the plant and the soil. Then she puts in a mixture of bone meal and gypsum. The bone meal provides phosphorus and long-term calcium. The gypsum provides calcium and sulfur. And then after she puts in that mixture of the bone meal and the gypsum, she starts layering a Nutrimulch compost with the soil already in her garden. So she puts in some of that Nutrimulch compost, covers it with some soil, Nutrimulch compost, more soil, and then on the top, a nice thick layer of the Nutrimulch compost. And then you can see she waters it in really well. So that's it. Our two main crops are now in the ground in their permanent summer home. 77 peppers, 46 tomatoes, and we are so excited for our abundant garden this year. We may break a few rules, but it helps us to have a more abundant harvest and to create more food to feed our family. What are the most important crops that you grow in your garden? Do you break some of the rules too? And as always, don't be afraid to get a little dirt under your fingernails so you can turn that dirt into dinner. Or join us in making a whole lot of salsa this summer.